Hey everybody, what's going on? I had a pretty good question today with this new fellow that's working with us. His name is Christian. He's 18. He's fairly young, but he's coming kind of from that conventional approach of medicine. And so he's coming in a bit skeptical to alternatives and ozone therapy and all those things. And he feels a little bit bad about it, but I told him not to feel bad because most of the people in this circle, I think the one thing that I really respect about you guys is that you're extremely curious, that you're generally very well read, very educated, people that are really just searching for the answer. And it's, as we know, it's not about alternatives versus conventional. That has nothing to do with it. It's about getting people better. It's about finding health. It's about medicine that actually works. So whether that's a conventional or whether that's an alternative, it doesn't matter. There's bad guys on both sides. There's bad guys in conventional medicine that are just trying to make money. There's bad guys in alternative medicine that are just trying to make money. And I've had my own run-ins with those people too. So I think just because you're in the tier of alternative doesn't necessarily make you, it doesn't necessarily make you good. I mean, the FDA and kind of people's perception is that there is this box that medicine has to fit into. So that if it's outside of what the FDA deems as medicine, then it's truly not medicine. Or people can do the reverse where they say if it's outside of alternative and it's conventional, then it's truly not medicine. Well, I don't think either are a very good way of looking at it. I think the best way to look at it is that, and this is getting away from the question that he had, but the best way to look at it is how can we get people better? And what are the most practical means to making that happen? But his question was about ozone therapy, and he asked, what's like one thing that ozone therapy cures, that it gets rid of? Like, what's the one thing? And he's kind of coming from this conventional mindset that I take a pill and it gets rid of my symptom, and that kind of seems like a cure. But I kind of asked him the question, if your car says you need an oil change, do you just unplug the indicator that says oil change? You just unplug that and say, yep, we're good. The symptom is gone. I no longer need to do anything. Or do you actually, so on one hand, you're just getting rid of the indicator light, and on the other hand, you're actually solving the root of the problem and getting rid of the indicator light at the same time, that symptom. So we often are taking these pills that are getting rid of the symptom, but that's not a good fix either, because a lot of times they'll generate another symptom from perhaps another disease because we weren't addressing the other one. And they'll need another prescription. Or that prescription over time has some negative side effects that requires another prescription. And I know you guys all know this. You get on the hamster wheel, so to speak, of conventional pill taking, and you're forever going to be taking pills until you die, basically, is what they do for you. A lot of times. I'm not saying all the methods are like that, but that happens to a lot of people in this circle, and I know you know what that is like, most likely. So anyway, his question about how does ozone therapy kind of fit into the context of medicine, I think is really the question. Like, what is it doing? Well, how do we know that it's working? How do we know what it's doing in the body and all those kinds of things? And I just kind of was like, it comes from this misunderstanding of what medicine is supposed to be like, which is that you take this one thing and it's cured, it's gone forever. But most of the time, the diseases do they come from one thing? Not usually. There's some exceptions, but a lot of times diseases are a compounding effect of lifestyle choices and things that have happened to us or whatever it is that compound and create a lot of issues in our body. And then our body, it doesn't know how to fight it. It doesn't have the means to fight it. So with holistic medicine, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get to the root problem. We're not trying to mask the symptom. And also to mention that symptoms can often be a good thing. They're usually an indication that your body is working correctly. For instance, if you got an infection, or let's say you got a cold and you got no cold symptoms, but you had the infection there, wouldn't you think that would be a problem? Because the symptoms are actually the part that's your body reacting to the infection that is there. And those are some of the means that are used by your body to actually get rid of the infection. When you have the flu, a fever is not from the flu. A fever is from your body. It's your body's means to get rid of the infection. So your body is this incredible complex system. And these symptoms are not necessarily a bad thing. And if we take pills or we take things to get rid of the symptoms and we never address the problem, that in and of itself is going to cause problems because we no longer have that indicator light to tell us that we need an oil change, or we no longer have this indicator that tells us that, hey, there's something important that you need to do, that you need to address here that you're not doing. So anyway, symptoms can be a good thing. But in the case of ozone therapy, people are trying to understand, like, well, where does it fit in? What does it cure? You know, there are some things that's really helpful for, like dental infections, skin infections, peripheral vascular disease, but the vast majority of people are using it for preventative care, autoimmune issues, cancer, Lyme, and infectious diseases. So how do they fit it into their context? Well, like we said, the body has not had the means to repair itself, and now it's sick, or something traumatic happened, or, you know, like a tick bite and you got Lyme disease, and it doesn't have the means to repair itself. Well, we'd start by addressing lifestyle, diet, exercise, sleep, lack of stress. So a good doctor will walk you through those things, but then they'll also say, all right, so we're giving your body the fuel that it needs. We're no longer giving it diesel. We're giving it the, you know, high quality unleaded that it wants. But there's also some other things that we need to get going and fix in here. So with the case of ozone therapy, it's not like a drug. It's not forcing that body to do something. It's really just trying to put the body in an optimal place so that it can heal itself and cure itself. Ozone therapy is not curing anything. Ozone therapy is helping your body to become more healthy so that it can cure itself. And just like if you are eating a better diet, you're eating more vegetables, you're eating more high quality meats, whatever that is, that meat, that vegetable is not curing your disease. It's putting your body in an optimal place so that it's more capable of getting rid of that disease. So if you're trying to understand what ozone therapy is doing, yes, it's modulating the immune system. Yes, it's increasing oxygen efficiency. Yes, it's doing some of these things. But the reason it's doing that is because it's stimulating your body to do those things. It's not forcing anything to happen. It's not forcing it to upregulate or downregulate. So we're just trying to put your body in an optimal place. And ozone therapy is a tool in a tool belt. If, let's say I had an autoimmune disorder and I went to an autoimmune doctor and he said, if you do ozone therapy, it'll get rid of your autoimmune disorder, I'd be a bit skeptical. I'm like, I really don't think that a one bullet cure exists for this thing. And you would probably be right. There probably is not one bullet cure for really anything that I can think of. I can't think of a therapy that just cures something, exclusively and nothing else related. So holistic medicine is taking the approach that our bodies are pretty complex systems, and we're going to give it everything that we possibly can to put it into a very healthy space so that it can cure itself. So ozone, whether you're doing ozone therapy or you're doing NAD or you're doing some other form of therapy, ultraviolet blood irradiation, these things are not cures. They're things that are helping your body to perform better. And that's really the way to do medicine, is how can we get your body performing well so that's able to get rid of these diseases. So anyway, I thought it was a good question because it's kind of addressing like what some of you guys might be interested in, which is like, how should I view ozone therapy? How does it fit into my context? It's a tool in your tool belt. It's not the best thing since sliced bread. It's pretty good, but it's not the best thing out there. And it's not the only thing you need to be doing. You need to be sleeping. You need to be getting exercise. You need to be eating well. You need to be doing these other things because there's not the one thing out there that's going to solve all your problems. There's a lot of things that you might need to try out. And also not to mention that not everything works for everybody. So does ozone therapy work for everybody? I doubt it. It seems to be pretty good. It seems to work for a lot of people and really help and be one of those things that is super helpful. But again, this is a complex, multifaceted problem that you have to solve, which is chronic disease typically. Or in my case, it's just like being healthy, getting better, those types of things. But anyway, thanks for watching the video. If you like these videos, let me know. It's a little bit more informal. It's just kind of me chatting with you guys. If you like that format, awesome. If you like the other formats where they're more scripted, more researched, I guess just more in depth, those require a ton of work, honestly. Like that what is ozone therapy video that I did, I think took like I don't know, 60, 70 hours, somewhere there, just between the research. And that's not to mention all the years of research I've already done. Like, it's just like every point I make, I want to make sure that it's backed up and that there's a source that I can cite. You know, there's a lot of knowledge that I just kind of have floating around in my head, and Christian has helped to kind of help me to understand that there's probably a lot of things that I know that I can just talk on without having to research a ton, because I've just done so much already that doesn't require so much preparation. So that's part of why I haven't been able to do so many videos, is because I'm pretty busy, and investing the amount of time that requires for some of those videos is pretty difficult. And I think it comes across as a little bit less natural, just because I kind of have to do a script, and yeah, it just doesn't feel quite as natural. I mean, it's only scripted out because I want to make sure that the research is there to back up what I'm saying, so that I'm not just saying things because, I don't know, I just want to put out good information in front of you guys. And one of the other things that I mentioned to Christian was that our job, he's kind of my helping hand right now. So he's a 19-year-old kid, and he's kind of like my assistant, and he's been really helpful. I really like him. He's a great guy. But our job is more like investigative journalism. Like, we're not here to tell them what we think ozone therapy does. We're here to go and collect all the information that's out there and digest it and put it into something that people can easily understand, because there's quite a significant amount of research on ozone therapy. I don't know if you guys have looked, but there is a significant amount, and it's really, some of it's really heavy and tough to understand. So our job as more investigative journalism is just to put out, whether good or bad, what ozone therapy is doing, and just to give the most accurate and most valuable view we can to people who are listening to us. You know, we're growing this YouTube channel a little bit. Our bigger audience is more through the emails and that kind of thing, but you know, it's been a great ride, and I think we're going to start to break out into other topics. I tried this NAD one recently, and hopefully you guys enjoyed that. But you know, we just want to put out good information for people. So if we can continue to do that, I hope you continue watching. So thanks. Catch you next time. Bye.